Welcome to Just Read It. We are coming to you from the Laurelhurst Village Assisted Living Facility in Portland, Oregon. And they're kind enough to donate this space to us on a regular basis. My name is Susan Stoner. I'm an author. And with me today is Carolyn Miller. She's the co-host. And she is an author of Gothic novels, a playwright, and a fabulous blogger. And also with me as our guest is Dan Berne, and he has written a wonderful book called The Gods of Second Chances. It takes place in Alaska and highly recommended by both of us in a prior show.
Fishing stories in Alaska, not for me. I love this book.
Great. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
So today, what we're going to discuss is Anne Hillerman's book, A Rock with Wings. And most people have heard of Tony HIllerman. He's famous for having written mysteries that are set in the Four Corners area of the United States. And the characters are generally Navajo, Zuni, Pueblo Indians. And the stories are told from their perspective. And unfortunately, Tony HIllerman is no longer with us. But Anne Hillerman is his daughter, and she has picked up the series, and she's using the same characters. So this story features Jim Chi and Bernadette Manolito, and they are both solving their own mystery, and at the same time dealing with family matters. So guess what, Dan? You get to go first. What did you think of this book?
Some of the things I really liked about it were we do get to meet our old familiar friends. You know, there's Jim Leaphorn and, of course, Joe Leaphorn and Jim Chi. And I thought she did best with Berne, bringing that character more to life, particularly in the sections where she's dealing with her mother and her sister and seeing those family dynamics, but from a Navajo perspective, and what's allowed in a conversation and what's not. As a mystery, I wanted to like it more, but I think there were just too many plot lines going on that weren't resolved, and I think sort of the handling of the mystery at the end was a little heavy-handed. So from a mystery point of view, I think she missed the mark. But it does take us back into some of the familiar landscape that her father did so well, and that felt at home.
Okay. And Caroline, what did you think?
Well, I loved the book, and I loved the series, and what I think a lot of readers out there haven't picked up Anne yet because they love the dad, and can the daughter do any better? And the answer is yes. And what's more, what I loved about it, particularly the Berne Manolito, the woman juggling the sandwich, she's got a sister that doesn't help her, all of those family things that often end up in a woman's lap. She has given the book a feminine touch without softening it.
She has, and even from the character of Jim Chi, the book starts with the two characters going on vacation, which quickly gets interrupted. And so they're in different places, each solving their own path of mystery. But even with Jim Chi, she throws in these doubts about that he has. Well, if she doesn't answer my phone call when I call, she didn't say she loved me when we hung up. So she, even with him, you know, she gives these relationship dynamics that come in.
And may I interrupt to say that what I loved about that is that she gave Jim a real character. He is now affectionate, loving.
Yes.
Well, I guess I would echo most of what both of you have said. You know, I think Tony HIllerman is famous for having a premise that outsiders, usually white men, are exploiting the people of the Four Corners area and their land. She has that. She has the idea of the spirituality of the land, the beauty of the land. She has that nailed. I would say, though, that one of the problems I think mystery writers are having today is that there is an overemphasis on character development at the expense of plot. And so to that extent, Dan, I have to agree with you. I think that the plot didn't quite work, and it got a little bit too mired into the character development, which is great for a fiction novel, not as good for a mystery.
And of course, I totally disagree with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you've got to like your character, and you've got
Yes.
to know them. And I, as I've said many times in my blog, Right Away, the characters of some of these mysteries, you can slip them like paper dolls under the, who cares?
Yes.
You know, and you know Agatha Christie, you know, Hercules is going to twist his mustache and talk about his gray cells, and Mrs. Marple is going to talk about, well, she had a neighbor who did this. As people, they're just moved around to facilitate the plot.
Yes. So I agree with you. I mean, I'm a character novel-driven guy, so that's what I. But I think both have to work, and I think that there was the revealing towards the end and the motivations, and I think where she was weak on the character development was actually with the bad guys.
Yes.
I think their motivations I didn't quite buy, and some of the plot doings with where they wanted to put some equipment on just one particular piece of Navajo land, which is very huge. I thought,
and very sunny.
And very sunny. I thought, you know, that was a little bit. I didn't quite buy that part of the premise.
Yes.
So that's where that was a problem. But I did like, you know, as I said, I really liked how she brought Berne and Jim in particular. Yeah. I also like with Joe Leaphorn that she brought this thing with you know, a person who's had a brain injury from the last novel. Right. He's struggling with having had his brain injury and coming back into the world, and that's a very real issue for a lot of folks today.
Yeah. Well, I think we've reached the point where we say whether we think a person should pick this book up and read it. And so the way that we do this is, if you think yes, then you would put a red marble in there, and if you think no, you would put a blue marble in there.
Okay.
So you get to go first.
Oh boy, I think I'm going to be in opposition here, but at the end of the day,
with a no?
With a no.
Okay.
A no. Okay. Well, give me two more models to overcome yes.
Yes.
Because I say a definite yes.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
You get the tie vote.
Okay. I would say a yes, but I do believe that she could have done better with the mystery. Thank you.